my tip top. And if I hit the switch, I can make the ass drop.
Welcome to N.W.A. That's right. He'll be quiet. Well, I'm Bass P.
Oh, I can't be quiet. My name is DIZZ-E. And you all know I'm the one with the capital E.
Look out, look out.
Anyway, so thank you for joining us once again. It's that time.
It's that time. Can't stop. Don't want to stop.
Feel the groove, I'm feeling the groove. All you ladies know you're feeling the groove.
Don't get down. Let's stop the groove. Let's stop it. He can't stop. That's the problem. He can't stop.
I can stop. I can stop anytime I want, but I won't. Hey. Thank you for joining us. Welcome back to another episode of N.W.A. Don't forget to subscribe.
That's right.
And ring that bell. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes.
And follow us on our other social sites as
Twitter,
Instagram,
TikTok,
and on our up there, right there, Critical Opinion. Visit us there.
That's right.
We're really cool. It's up there.
That's right.
Up there, in the banner. You can see it. And then it's also down below in the comments down there, just before the comments. That's down, right there. I see it. Do you see it? Right there, right there, right down there.
Shuffle through the board.
No, shuffle through the board. It's just right there. The link, right there, right there. Go down there. Right?
Excellent,
and just go down at the bottom of the description and you'll find it in there. Right above in the description, you'll find our link to Critical Opinion. Okay? And go there. And to our sites as well.
Yeah.
Right? And you can download our music from all the digital sounds.
Yeah.
Okay? Every digital site, digital sound site.
That's right.
Okay? Everywhere. Right?
Access.
Anyways, thank you for following us, okay? And hey.
Whoa.
Guess what?
What?
You like Diddy? I like Diddy? You like Diddy like I like Diddy? You like Diddy like I like Diddy?
The Y, the D, the I, the D, it's Diddy. Hold up, it's Diddy.
Anyways, the reason I mentioned him is, did you know that it's the anniversary of of one of his albums? Guess which one?
It's the 25th, isn't it?
Guess which one?
It's
30 years, isn't it?
Is it 30? No,
years. I think it's 30
it's
years.
25th.
It's 25?
Yeah,
wow,
it's 25th.
Okay, 25. Oh yeah, because the House of Pain was 30 years, so that was about 5 years before he came out, right? And this was the album called N.W.A.
Yeah, this is his debut album.
D-I, the D, the Y, Diddy.
Hold up.
It's Diddy. Anyways, his album, N.W.A. Out, 25th anniversary.
Man.
That was just right after Biggie had passed on.
That's right.
And so that's been 25 years also, actually.
The classic song of Missing You and
Missing
also
You,
Been Around the World and I. He had Biggie all over it.
See my baby. What's his name? Mace wrote the lyrics.
we always talk about this.
Mace wrote the lyrics, and so if you really look and listen to the way P. Diddy sang his earlier songs, they're very Mace style songs. Even the way he raps is the way Mace would rap, right? At that time.
I think P. Diddy, he knew he wasn't like a original rapper, but he just wanted to keep his brand going.
But he fell into it, right? And he made. You got to remember, he made it big because of Biggie. Biggie was his ticket. Biggie was his ticket, right? And so some people say, Biggie's death was his sort of golden ticket because. I don't think that was true because I think he was already producing other groups and other songs. But
I think Biggie would have even made him bigger.
Oh yeah,
with lots of collaborations.
But I don't think he would have been in the videos like he was like after that, right? Because he was He was in all of Biggie's videos. He was in all the,
Mace,
Mace
Group 112.
Everybody's,
and you know,
like, you know what? That's okay. That's how he does business, right? That's why Snoop said, remember at the BET.
No, that was Suge. That was Suge.
No, he goes. Snoop went. Y'all don't love Snoop. Y'all don't love Snoop in the East Coast. And you know what? Look, if you all want to come out and you want to come to the real label where the producer isn't in the video,
that was
you come on down.
Yeah.
No, that Suge came on and later said it, right?
Yeah.
What? Y'all don't like motherfucking Snoop Dogg? Yeah. Like, I remember watching that. I was going, ooh, there's gonna be a shoot down right there.
It was crazy. It was hot. It was hot that night. But you know,
oh man, everybody was scared.
You know,
everybody. That was the first time the BET Awards came on TV.
I always thought, what if Biggie and Puff Daddy didn't go to California? Would he still be with us? I would think so.
I think they both would have been still with us. Everybody has their destiny, right?
Yeah.
If it's an if thing.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We can't say if this, if that.
Yeah.
We all wish there was an if. We all wish there was a reset button, right? If Snoop if Puck hadn't gone to the West Coast, right? Oakland and all that, right? If he hadn't gone there, he would never have produced with Dre.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. If Pac never went to Death Row, I don't know if we would have known Pac as why. I mean, Pac was talented.
No, you would have known.
But I don't know. But Death Row was like this factory.
I know, but P Diddy or P Diddy or somebody, Murder Inc. or somebody would have signed him on.
You know,
right? I think P Diddy would have signed him on because he was.
You think he would have joined P Diddy?
I think he would have. I think P Diddy would have signed him on, right? Because if Biggie was his friend. Remember?
Yeah.
And so Biggie would have gone. I think Biggie would have brought him in
because he was still heated from the 1994 shootout that happened in the Quad Studio.
Yeah, but I think he would have still. I think they would have still. I think he would have been there.
I wish they both would have just talked, but I
wish they would have quashed their beef. And man.
Yeah.
Today they would like they would.
Oh my gosh! Would have been like timeless music.
The two of them together with Dr. Dre on the. Producing the beats.
Yeah. It's what if, guys,
They would have been on Aftermath.
Right? Yeah, it would have been really timeless. But we're still sending a shout out to you, P Diddy. We love your music. We love your Bad Boy.
Bad Boy records.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And you guys really did. You put out a lot of good music. You entertained us.
Yeah.
Right. No matter what happened. Right.
Yeah.
And rest in peace, Biggie.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly.
And we love Biggie as well.
Yes.
Tupac.
Right.
Yeah, and anyways. Congratulations on 25 years, okay, and congratulations on making an empire. You really did. He really did. He built an empire, man.
He did.
And so, congratulations.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I should tell you a little bit about my trip. I was
in Croatia.
I was just
going to ask you. You're not even let me ask you.
Okay, you can ask me.
I was just going to ask you, like, hey, yo, Bass, how was your trip to your homeland?
So as you know, I'm married.
It's not his homeland.
I'm married.
They went down to the deep south.
Deep south of Europe. Yeah. I'm married to a woman from Bosnia, and she has family in Croatia, and they're my family too, as well. And we traveled.
So wouldn't you say we have family in Croatia?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's.
You're kind of separating families there, bro.
Yeah, you can never separate families. So.
Okay. Anyways.
But anyway, we went to Brač around Split. And it's a nice weather there. I see lots of Europeans there already, Germans, Finnish, Swedish.
That's a normal.
Yeah, that's a normal hotspot.
That's like Florida of the Europe.
You think? I thought Greece is like Florida.
No.
And I thought Spain is like the California.
Croatia is the Florida of Eastern Europe.
So is
Central and Eastern Europe.
Because I thought Italy was
Central
like the Texas.
Eastern Europe. No. Italy is more of the Las Vegas. Not Las Vegas. Yeah, they're sort of like the Las Vegas trendy.
I thought Netherlands was Las Vegas.
Netherlands, no. Yeah, Netherlands, Sin City.
Yeah.
Sin City. Okay, Netherlands would be like Las Vegas.
We're mapping out our.
Right, and so Spain would be like like the California AA.
Yeah. No, we were talking about this. We were saying that, you know, in Southern Europe, it seems like the people are much more happier, like in Southern U.S. But, you know, I was raised in Louisiana, and there were some nice parts of Louisiana, and there were some dark, racist parts of Louisiana. And sometimes I'm really happy in some ways to be in Europe because, you know, you still go through racism everywhere, but it was really extreme back in the States. And not to say that I don't miss the States.
It's even more extreme now.
Yeah. And not to say I don't miss the States. I miss the States incredibly.
That's what you told me.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But hopefully, you know,
Sure.
someday I will go back as well. But, you know, I could tell you with my trip, focusing on my trip, it was great. We had lots of barbecues. The sun was beaming on us, but we were in the sea, clear sea. I mean, Croatia. Many Czech people from Czechia come to Croatia.
Okay, they go there, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice.
Right? Everybody goes down there.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not really a fan of Croatia, to be honest. So, anyways, enough of that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, Croatia's nice. It's nice. It's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Just not me. You know, some places are and some places aren't. You know what I'm saying?
You just gotta.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
See the positivity.
You all know what I'm saying.
See the positivity.
I'm not saying there's any negativity about it. I never said anything negative about it. I just said it's not just for me.
All right.
You understand?
That's right.
Yo, people, I can have my own decision and decide what I like and I don't like.
That's why UK is not just for me either.
That's all right. You're not for UK either. UK is a specialty. It's like a delicacy, okay, that only certain people can actually enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, him. Anyways, so this is it, man. Wow, fascinating. Anyway, so you know, last week, the last time we were together, we talked about Public Enemy.
Enemy. Yes,
and we said they had a huge influence on a lot of people and a lot of groups, right? And so this week we are putting N.W.A.
That's right.
On the spotlight or in the spotlight.
In the spotlight,
right?
That's right.
So these guys are amazing because these guys completely rewrote rap.
Yeah, they are. These guys, you know.
Okay, unapologetically violent and sexist pioneers of gangster rap.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, they in many ways they are like the most notorious group in history of rap.
I still think that
and
these
I think
guys,
the most dangerous group at the time.
I still think they still are the most dangerous group because they were just unapologetic, like you said. They were, rugged. They were very, hardcore. Right? And I still think even today, there's no group like that. Even in today's modern.
I'm sure there is. Maybe we haven't heard of them. I haven't heard any really hardcore rap. I don't know if hardcore rap is a big thing now. Right?
You know, then still maybe some things
maybe
are
we
missed.
should do it now.
I don't think.
Really nasty.
I'm not Ice Cube.
We'll call the album called Nasty.
I'm not Ice Cube.
Dirty Nasty. Dirty and nasty. Right? And he'll say, be advised. These lyrics are dirty and nasty. Nasty. Nasty will be said twice.
So we'll continue on.
Parent advisory. Right? Put this song, play this only in your closet.
So these guys, they were emerging in the late 80s when Public Enemy had rewritten the rules of hardcore rap by proving that it could be intelligent, revolutionary, and socially aware.
Yeah, but they didn't care about any of that.
Exactly.
Because instead, the Five Fifths crew celebrated the violence, right? The gangsterness, the thievery, the criminal lifestyle. Yeah. They sort of glorified it a bit, right? And they would, they
just kept it all.
They kept it. But it was a harsh language. They were blunt. They were harsh. They were sending them. They were speaking the language of the street.
Yeah.
And that's why a lot of the people could relate to them.
Yeah.
And it was kind of ironic. The people that relate to them a lot and their biggest fans were this urban white youth.
Mm-hmm. That's
right?
true.
And so they really opened their eyes of how African Americans are being treated, young African, because they showed what it's like. They even did some documentary, like driving through their neighborhood, right, through with MTV, right, and Snoop or Dr. Dre's driving, not Dre, Ice Cube's driving through the neighborhood, right, and showing the reporter, look, see, this is what we talk about is really actually happens in the neighborhoods, right, and. So at the time, he was talking, the community they grew up in, again, they grew up in Compton, and they grew up in South Central and Long Beach, right? Yeah. And Crenshaw. Yeah, exactly. Crenshaw, we're back with Crenshaw, right? Anyway, and they went to Crenshaw High.
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
And so Ice Cube and Dre, they went to Crenshaw High. Dre had actually left earlier, right? Graduated earlier than Ice Cube, because he's a little older than him.
And previously we talked about Ice-T from Crenshaw as well.
And then a lot of the gang members from Crenshaw, right? And if you watch the movie N.W.A. Straight Outta Compton, right? I think one of the best movies ever made.
One of the best
biopics. And you know what? They should have won a Grammy, or they should have won an Oscar.
Yeah.
Right? And they didn't win any. They won all other international awards for that movie, except for the Oscars. The Oscars didn't even recognize it as one of the movies.
Same. When they had their albums, they were selling lots of records, but they weren't on MTV and everything.
Yeah, it was the most watched sort of docudrama, right? It was the most watched docudrama in history. Because people had been waiting for this, and Ice Cube's own son. Right?
Oh, he was.
O'Shea.
He killed it. He killed it.
His son. He played. He looks like Ice Cube.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's what, and he had to actually audition. Ice Cube didn't just give him that part in the movie. He actually had to audition, and then he went there. And he saw a lot of other guys that looked like Ice Cube, right? But he had done acting. He had acting. He actually went to acting school. He's actually a professional actor and a rapper, right? He's actually very talented, just like his father. Both his sons are.
Exactly.
So, talented family.
Yeah, exactly.
But going back, this was in the early 80s, right? They heard Public Enemy, and Public Enemy was a big influence on them. They went off on the coattails of Public Enemy, but then created their own cult.
That's right.
Right? And then this opened the door for every street rapper, everybody that was going out there, Snoop Dogg, Warren G, all these guys just came. Nate Dogg. I opened up the gate.
Corrupt.
It was a flood. It was a flood of rappers that were now just popping up. You had a new rapper coming out every week. Every week.
It was like that.
And they were making it big.
Right.
And so then some of them started their own record label. Some of them signed on with Death Row Records. Some of them signed on with other records, right? Priority Records.
That's right.
And you got to remember, in the beginning, none of these labels would take them seriously.
That's right.
Right? And so I think before we go on, right, so let's talk a little bit about who the members are. So there you got Ice Cube, Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, right, Ren, and
MC
Yella.
Ren and Yella. That's right.
And so the two front men of the actual group were Ice Cube and Yella, right? And the MC Yella. They were supposed to be, MC Ren. MC Ren.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be the two front men because they were the ones that writing most of the lyrics.
Yeah.
And then you had, of course, Eazy-E again was the gimmick.
Yeah. You know, with Eazy-E, with his life, we always talk about it. It was cut short. But, you know, he was a real dope dealer. He was a drug dealer.
Gangster.
A real gangster. And, you know, when Ice Cube was still in high school, he was basically dropping off school to write lyrics for some songs. And Dr. Dre was in a group, was it the Wrecking Crew? I can never say.
Wrecking Crew. The Wrecking Crew.
The Wrecking Crew.
World class
Wrecking Crew.
So,
and it was kind of a touch and go because they were dressing in oily hair and suits and it was something that wasn't really it was just kind of like pop in this case. Yeah. So
Eazy-E already had a record company. Had a record, but he hadn't labeled it anything yet, right? And so he already had a group from the East Coast. From New York, and these guys were sort of New York rappers, and so when
But Eazy-E was trying to get out of the game.
Yeah,
that's why he was
he was trying to get out of the drug game, and he wanted to be sort of get out of it, right?
Yeah.
And so what he was doing, he was using the drug money to start a legitimate business,
that's
right?
Yeah.
And he wanted to build a roster of successful artists on his, and he started with one group, right? And so they were fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And but problem was, they couldn't relate to, and Ice Cube was writing their lyrics, and they just couldn't understand. They couldn't understand the language because they didn't know what the words meant.
Yeah.
Right? Because they never used those words in the East Coast.
Exactly.
Right. Oh, by the way, just to let you know, all those second language speakers and people of other countries that are watching this, there's a big difference in the UK when you go from south to the north. Almost every city has their own lingo and has their own accent, their own dialect of English. In the States, it is the same way.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
You have the East Coast and West Coast, Central and Upper North. They all have their different, like down in Texas and down south, deep south.
Exactly.
Everybody has their own lingo and their own way of speaking, right? And especially in street rap or rap, everybody speaks slightly differently, right? And so that's why it's called East Coast or West Coast, right? And so East Coast rappers have a different form of rap, different tone, different outline of the way they speak and the way they rap. And in the West Coast, they have that West Coast flavor. They rap, and their tones are very different, and their lingo is very different as well.
Yeah.
Right? Just clarifying that.
Yeah, no, it's okay.
Just so you understand why it was really difficult for the East Coast, that group that Eazy had originally signed, why they just refused to sing those songs.
Yeah.
Right?
So, like you were saying, with Eazy-E, who was born Eric Wright, by the way, when the guys, this group couldn't perform, Dr. Dre just looked at Eazy-E. He says, "Why don't you rap? I mean, you live this life. Why don't you do it easy?"
And the group that he signed on, they were called Boys in the Hood.
Boys in the Hood, exactly. Yeah.
Right?
And the Eazy said, but I'm not that type of person. No, let's just do it. Don't be afraid. So they started recording.
Yeah.
He said it took about, Dr. Dre said it took about 8 to 9 hours because they were, recording.
He was just saying the verses. It was just him. He removed everybody else out of the room.
Yeah.
Right? Because everybody was laughing, and Eazy didn't feel comfortable with everybody laughing. So even though there was only the two of them in the room, in the recording studio, he still put on his black glasses. And so I guess in a way that was probably his sort of...
That was his...
protection, safety.
Yeah.
That safety blanket out. When you're a kid and you have that safety blanket, that was his safety blanket.
Yeah.
And so when he would put those black glasses on, he became Eazy-E. Right?
Yeah.
And so when he came out and he did that, and then Dr. Dre put all the clips together to create the verses. Right? When Dre walked in and they listened to it, they were just completely shocked. And Dre and Ice Cube said, "You turned him into a rapper."
Yeah, exactly.
You turned Eazy-E into a rapper, right? And so Ice Cube, whose real name, who was born as O'Shea Jackson, and his son's name is O'Shea Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
Right? He began writing the songs for Ruthless, right? And Eazy tried to give one of his duo groups a chance. The first song, "Boys in the Hood." Right?
Yeah.
And the group itself was called HBO. Right?
Yeah.
And and when the group refused, so that's when Eazy decided that he'll do the song himself.
Yeah. And that's what launched their career. So in the following year, the group added MC Ren, born Lorenzo Patterson, and they revamped their sound, bringing in many of the noisy, extreme sonic innovations of Public Enemy that we talked about previously, and adopting a self-consciously violent and dangerous lyrical stance. And late in 1988, N.W.A. delivered Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton! I'm not going to say the next part. Anyway, so here, have a listen to Straight Outta Compton.
Let's listen. Bow.
Straight Outta Compton, crazy motherfucker named Ice Cube, from the gang called Niggaz Wit Attitudes.
That that song. That's the song that just does it.
Yeah,
right? And that was the album.
Yeah.
Straight Outta Compton. I didn't know about the Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I went back and listened to that after. Right. Like first I bought the Straight Outta Compton. Mm-hmm. Right, because it was on radio. It was the first time a gangster rap was on radio.
Yeah.
So I watched it, and it was actually not on a regular radio station. It was on an FM hip hop radio station in the UK. And then, actually, you know what I like people to say? I want you to hear the original song Eazy-E did, which was called Boys in the Hood.
Yeah,
right?
let's listen.
And so, here you go. Okay, listen to this.
That I had to be in Compton soon. I gotta get drunk before the day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends.
Wow, I mean, great hit, great track, you know.
They're both good tracks,
yes,
man. Like Straight Outta Compton, Boys in the Hood, right? Which Ice Cube, by the way, later on actually created the movie. He wrote the movie Boys in the Hood.
Actually, that was intended for everyone.
Yeah.
But then when they had their disperse, it was Ice Cube was the only one who took it seriously.
Yeah.
So let's talk about DJ Yella. DJ Yella was also with Dr. Dre from the beginning, always helping Dr. Dre with tracks and hyping up. And there was also DOC. DOC, he's kind of like an unofficial member of the group. But if he didn't have this car crash later on in his life, many people around him said he would have been one of the greatest rappers of all time. It's just that he lost his voice and also.
And the Arabian Prince was also part of their group.
That's
as
right.
Well,
that's
right.
right.
He was they were sort of the hangarounds.
Yeah.
Right. They were part of their posse.
Yeah, but they also wrote a lot of the lyrics as well to these songs as well. So it's not like they were unknown, but it's just that they weren't in the front. Yeah.
They were excellent lyricists.
Yeah.
So they did a really good job.
Yeah.
Right. And DJ Yella, was born Antoine
Carabby.
Right?
Yeah.
Antoine Carabby.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome vocals as well. Right. So yeah.
So when you talked about Straight Outta Compton, this became an underground hit. Virtually no support from MTV, radio, so on. N.W.A. became notorious for their hardcore lyrics, especially of the F the police, which resulted in FBI sending a warning letter to Ruthless and its parent company, Priority. By the way, with Ruthless, Eazy-E was working with Jerry Heller, which if you watch the movie biopic, you know who Jerry Heller is. He's the one that's managing the money.
And he's managing the group, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
So, but he had more. His contract was more with Eazy-E than the rest of them. And he helped Eazy-E set up the record company Ruthless Records.
That's right.
And he brought them to Priority Records.
Yeah.
Bill, what's his name? Heller took them to. He actually took all their music to Capitol Records, all these major records, and they basically said to them, "Are you smoking drugs?" Right. We can't put out lyrics like this. We can't put out these guys. And they just said, you know what? Let them go. They're not going to amount to anything. This is going to go nowhere. Yeah. And then he went to Priority Records. Yeah. Their biggest success, Priority's Records at that time, their biggest success was I heard it through the grapevine, right? Yeah. The singing
the California
Raisin song, right? If you haven't heard it, you go see it. It's on YouTube. It's funny.
Cool.
That was their commercial song. That was they did a little sort of a thing for a commercial, right? I heard it through the grapevine, and so that he went to them and they said, we like it. They got cutting edge lyrics. Music is awesome, right? And this group's gonna be big, right? And so Priority Records signed on N.W.A. With the help of Heller, and so that really took them to a different level.
With Jerry Heller, I know he has like kind of this negative mark in the group's history. I mean, despite that, he still introduced them to the music.
Yeah, mind you, remember he managed Elton John. He brought Elton John and other performers. He wasn't just anybody. Yeah, he was somebody in the music industry. Yeah, right. He was sort of outdated at the time, right? But a friend of Eazy-E's introduced him to him, and then then he thought this was kind of unique, interesting, and then him and Eazy-E had a relationship, like a good friendship as well, and but he sort of taught Eazy-E about the industry.
Yeah. So when, the guys were, having sellout concerts, Eazy-E was making hundreds of thousands of dollars, and so was Jerry Heller, but the other rappers weren't. And from what Ice Cube said in his personal stories, that he just received $32,000 from writing music and performing from the tour.
And all those concerts they were doing, they were sellout concerts.
Exactly.
Okay.
And one day, Jerry Heller offered the whole group $75,000 unless they signed a contract. Then they can get the money afterwards. And Ice Cube just stood out and said, wait a minute, I was already writing and performing for you. That money is owed to me anyway.
Yeah.
And Jerry said, no, unless you sign it, the contract, then I'll give you the money. And Ice Cube was just looking, something is foul, something shady here, and he departed and told the guys, I'll leave after the tour.
And he did.
He did. He left in late 1989.
Yeah.
I mean,
it was after a tour. They came back, and he had already, everybody else had already signed.
Yeah.
Right, except Ice Cube.
Yeah.
And but they didn't tell him that they had all signed.
Yes.
And, right? Because he was telling them, let's wait, let's get a lawyer. Which he was doing right. He said, let's get a lawyer to read the contract. We don't know anything about contract.
Yeah.
Let's get an entertainment lawyer, let him to read.
Yeah.
We're not just going to sign with this guy.
Yeah.
Right? Because we don't even know who he is.
Yeah.
Right? Or what he's all about.
Yeah.
And so he was right not to sign the contract.
He was.
It turned out he was actually right not to sign the contract. So
nonetheless,
he left, right,
they,
and he went on to becoming quite successful on his own.
But the problem was that when he left N.W.A., N.W.A. continued to produce music, and they saw him as like a Benedict Arnold in No Joke in one of their songs. And Ice Cube was just so annoyed, pissed off about that. He says, I didn't even talk about you guys, and now you're making me seem like I'm the bad guy because I left.
You're talking crap about me. So then it turned into a nasty feud.
That's right.
Okay, and this is when Ice Cube came back and he started his own record label, right? And so Cube Records.
Lynch Mob. Lynch
Mob with and his own company Cube.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And so he came back with a song called No Vaseline.
That's still one of the best diss tracks.
Oh man,
that's one of the best diss tracks.
Oh,
they couldn't fight back.
Yeah, it was just he just shut everybody down.
Yeah.
Right. The one thing Ice Cube can do, he can write lyrics, and he can destroy you. You can stand, sit, no matter what you do, you're destroyed.
Yeah.
Right. He can destroy you in a second.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
And so this was on an attack on the group's management, right? Then they released, and then he released on his, which was released on his album, Death Certificate.
Yeah.
Right, and by the time the song was released, N.W.A. at this point in all intent purposes, was already finished.
Yeah, because
because there was no way coming back from that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. He basically destroyed them with one song.
He did.
Right?
You know, Jerry Heller was trying to hurt.
And he was saying, you got to get back. You got to go back at him. He was trying to ignite the fire.
Yeah, this anti-Semitism and all that.
And,
like Eazy-E said, we don't know all that anti-Semitism. We just go at each other like that. So, continuing on, Dr. Dre started to notice that he's having problems with Jerry Heller as well. And he decided as well he wasn't getting a lot of the money, which Cube was right about. Mm-hmm. So then, they were trying to part their ways as well, but it was been very, very difficult. But, during that time, Eazy-E dominated, most of the lyrics and also Dre's increasingly subtle and complex productions. Before Dr. Dre was dealing with, just the titles and tracks. Now he's dealing with the business side of N.W.A.
Yeah, but he couldn't do anything, and because all the rights and everything based on the contract went to Ruthless Records. That's right. And so Eazy had basically all the rights to their songs, right? And so that's when he just decided, okay, keep it, I don't care, and left, right? And so this is where Suge Knight comes in. Yeah,
and naturally, what happened was that Dre was trying to make efforts to stay with the group in Ruthless, but he was asking Eazy-E, look, I'll stay with you, man, just take Jerry Heller away because I don't know about this guy and I'm not getting enough money. And Eazy-E made the choice to stay with Jerry Heller.
Yeah.
And that's when Dr. Dre decided to leave. And then when he met Suge,
things just went crazy.
Yes, and this is what happened. Still
you
stories.
You gotta remember.
Yeah.
Dre wasn't signed on Death Row. Dre was owner of Death Row.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
He left the group and formed Death Row Records with Suge Knight in early 1992. Yeah. So they were supposed to be equal partners, right? But that wasn't quite how Suge Knight saw that.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, you heard about the story that, according to legend, Knight threatened to kill Jerry Heller if he refused to let Dre out of the contract. He said that in front of Eazy-E. And Eazy-E first, when he signed, he was like, he wrote like Mickey Mouse or something. and then the next time he actually wrote it because they were starting to roughen him up, beat him up.
Yeah, they had a meeting with him, late night meeting.
Yeah.
And he got beat really bad. Because Eazy-E was a gangster, but these guys were even bigger gangsters. Okay?
I think, but Eazy threatened to kill Suge Knight after because he was telling Jerry, look, this Suge's gonna be a problem, and Jerry didn't see, but that was so deep.
Because he was scared as well at that point. I think he realized he was in something deep that he wasn't really.
He didn't know about.
He wasn't prepared for this kind of thing. The problem with this is at that time, a lot of the white managers perform like lawyers and all these guys that were used to managing regular bands and the problems that come with that band. They weren't used to this gangster on gang relationship and violence and that this is where this was leading to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And so he wanted out at this point because he's going, we got let's just give him what he wants and let's get out, let's do our own thing. And of course, Izzy didn't refuse to do that, right? Until they had a late night meeting, and the rumor is that they beat him close to his ending his life, and then finally he signed it up, and then Suge Knight had all the rights.
Yeah, exactly. Well, they allowed him to leave, Dr. Dre to leave, but they get a portion of his future sales in Death Row
Records for the next 9 years.
Yeah, it was so crazy.
It was for 9 years after that, right? He goes, hey, I don't care. He can leave. Guess what? I own Dr. Dre.
The Dre days is Eazy-E's payday. That's what he used to say.
Yeah.
So what happened? The next few years was tough because Dr. Dre was booming. He did what he wanted to do. He put himself into the marketplace with Snoop Dogg. But he made one track that's kind of called Dre Day, where he's just humiliating Eazy-E. Basically making fun of Eazy-E, Jerry Heller, and
then Snoop Dogg is with him. Yeah. Right? And they just burn.
Yeah.
Eazy-E, Eazy-E.
And then Eazy-E came back with Real Mother G's, which but even despite all this, Eazy always wanted to bring N.W.A. back.
Yeah.
And
because they were still his boys. Yeah. No matter what you do, this is the thing, okay?
Yeah.
Your boys can get into an argument, right? We can have a disagreement, right? Because we have another friend, right? We often got in disagreements with him, and we didn't talk to him for a while and everything. And about when we got back together, it was like never happened, right? Your boys are real, true brothers, no matter what. Bros are bros, right? And real bros, we are real bros, right? We're real friends, and we've been together for a long time. And our other friend has been with us a long time. So no matter what he does, right? He's good now. He's in a good place now and everything. But he wasn't a bad guy. But sometimes he'd piss us off, and we didn't want to talk to him for a while. We'd give him time to cool off. This is the same thing. Right, with them. Yeah. They just needed time to do their own things and then come back. I think that's what Izzy was hoping they would do.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, right, sort of tragic the tragic death of Eazy in 1995 of AIDS. He passed away of AIDS. However, before he did that, Dr. Dre and Ice Cube both made amends with Eazy, okay, and then that's when in 1992 Dre released the album Chronic with Snoop Dogg and other performers on the song, right? And that established him as a premier hip hop producer in the mid 90s. And then he just became boom.
Yeah, exactly.
He produced everybody after that.
With Eazy-E, you know, the godfather of gangster rap. I mean, it happened so fast for him with his death. You know, I don't want to go so back into his past, but you know, he would, you know, practice having sex without using condoms.
Unsafe sex.
Unsafe sex. And, you know, whereas with Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, you always make fun of them. Like, well, you know, why are you guys protecting yourselves? And he's like...
It wasn't a big thing yet.
Right.
And it was after the death of Rock Hudson, right? Because Rock Hudson, everybody was man's man type of thing, right? And of Hollywood. Then it started to come out, and then it started to get popular, and then not popular, but it became more publicized, right? And then it was also Magic Johnson.
That's right, Magic Johnson was the big one. Yeah,
they all started coming out, right?
Yeah.
So Izzy, but at that time when because that was like the early '90s, mid '90s, right? And it wasn't. Everybody knew about it, but still there were a lot of people practicing unsafe sex still, right? Because everybody does that, no matter what. Even like with COVID, I'm not going to get it. You know what? Everybody that said I'm not going to get it, got it, right?
Exactly.
It's not like you don't know who's around you, where you're going to get it, how you're going to get it, what's going to happen, right? And so this is the problem, even with AIDS. It's still a problem today. Right, I mean they have a little bit more solutions. They have medications now and everything, and so it's starting to get better. Right. However, it's still around. So just be safe. Okay. You know, wear your Jimmy hats.
Yes, exactly.
Right. Protect yourself.
Because of course none of us really want to get it. It's just
be safe. Be safe.
Right? Back in that time, we didn't have the awareness as we do now. So now we know. So we do have a responsibility to take heed and like DIZZ-E said, to protect ourselves.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much, N.W.A. for introducing us to gangster rap and really opening the bridge. And this actually really, even the feud West Coast East Coast, that really elevated because they were on the news. They were every week, every day. Something was happening, and so this elevated all that negative press that the more that the newspaper was printing, the more news there was talking about it. The more record sales there were.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
So then right after that you had all these other guys, Biggie, Tupac, you know, big names coming out after that. Warren G, right?
I mean, you know, besides Public Enemy,
Sir Mix-a-Lot.
Yeah, we thank you guys for being the real hardcore gangsters of rap in the 80s and 90s, because you guys paved the way and you rewrote the rules of hip hop for the 90s. So
Ghetto Boys came out right after that, right? And so many gangster raps came out. So many gangster groups came out after that.
That's right.
Right? And so it was, thank you very much.
Thank you guys.
Thank you for your dedication and your contribution to the hip hop world and the hip hop culture. Okay? And thank you for blessing us. And rest in peace, Izzy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes,
and
and we salute you guys. Salute you guys.
Salute. Okay.
Okay.
Wow. That was a good one. I love this.
That was
one of my favorite bands.
Yeah.
One of my favorite rappers.
Yes.
Okay. Two of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
We're
gonna go in detail with them later. Yeah.
You know, I'm a big fan of Dr. Dre and a big fan of Ice Cube.
Yeah. Exactly.
Man, Ice Cube, the guy is incredible.
Yeah.
He's a god to me.
Yeah. I think he'll be so happy once we start finally talking about Ice Cube his life. So we'll start talking about the hits and definitely.
The guy is amazing. Right?
So it's that time, DIZZ. It's that time.
It's that time.
It's that time.
Is it that time?
It's that time.
It's that time, people.
It's that time for the top 10 hit list.
I'm thinking about quitting rapping. Tell the truth, I'm never happy. The politics come with this shit, be making me feel like snapping.
Seen her hit before a dish, they know I'm really in that field. Before I pillow talk about
I'm the most sickening hoe, so fucking sick of me. No matter what they do or say, it ain't no getting rid of me.
2007, cold drop to come up. I was in high school playing corner. I never dreamt of mumbling.
a secret, I got it on me. Fucked around, spent like 3 million in bling. Yeah, I know I'm humble, it's not what it seems.
The numbers on my phone, realness in my chromosomes. Picking up another load, buying gallon steak and chrome.
Fuck all these niggas hating on me. Yesterday I fucked the waitress. I came outside with my plate, she was waiting on me. And y'all ain't
Freak, baby boy, concrete, little nigga. Yeah, I rapping all that shit, I'm still a street little nigga.
Rich bitch, and she like rich shit. She'll pay 20,000 for a trip just to take a crash to Rari.
Jump off the top of the road like Jeff Hardy. Niggas be broken, be ready to party. Nike mask on, man.
All right, wow, man.
Yeah,
like we say, every week, every day, every time, the music gets better.
Exactly.
It's like fine wine.
It's
Only a few weeks old though.
So
fine wine rap music. Okay, so this has been In the Vibe.
In the Vibe.
In the Vibe.
You guys for
Thank
another
you very
episode.
much. Thank you for following us. We
Yes.
hope you enjoyed this episode, and we hope you learned something just a little bit.
Yes.
Just a little bit. Anyways, and thank you. Keep coming back, and remember for subscribe and
also
ring the bell. Ding ding. And follow us on all our social media sites. Okay, and stay safe. Be sunny.
Stay happy.
And stay happy.
And stay in the vibe.
Peace, love, and respect.